Welcome to Unit 1, Part 3. We're going to talk today about finding subjects and verbs and also what a verb phrase is. Now, a simple sentence is a sentence that has one independent clause. We'll be going over dependent and independent clauses later. An independent clause is basically a sentence that can stand up all by itself. A dependent clause is part of a sentence that might have its own subject and verb, but it needs to be attached to the independent clause because a dependent clause cannot stand by itself. Now, again, an independent clause makes a complete statement and has at least one subject and one verb. Now the subject is going to be the person, place, thing, quality, or ideas. These are going to be nouns or pronouns that the sentence is going to be about. In other words, the subject of the sentence, as well as the topic of the sentence. John went for a walk. Towns are quiet after a snowfall. Eggs roll on a counter. Silence is golden. That's a good one. Peace is at hand. Let's hope so. All of the underlined words are the subject of a sentence. Now for your verbs, verbs you know show action or state of being, and they refer back to the subject. We've already talked this year about action, helping, and linking verbs. So look at the underlined words. Sally has sneezed. Has is your helping verb and sneezed is your action verb. It's quite an action, isn't it? John thinks. Now this is a state of being. You can say, can you think? Well, yes, you can. You can't see it, but it does hopefully occur. So that we still call that an action verb. Jessie is my friend. Is in this case a linking verb. Now friend, by the way, is a predicate adjective, or I'm sorry, predicate noun, because friend is a noun. It refers back to Jessie, and it is connected to Jessie by a linking verb, which is. Now, you can try watching The Tale of Mr. Morton. I put it on Blended Schools for you. It's about 3 minutes long. It's one of the Schoolhouse Rock videos. It's worth watching if you're having any trouble understanding this. In it, they call the verb the predicate. You may have heard that before. Okay, so we're going to look for the action or linking verb to find the verb. Kevin reported the theft. That's an action verb. Ask yourself who or what reported to find the subject. And here, of course, we have the answer as Kevin. A verb phrase is the main verb and any helping verbs that go with it. 7th graders sometimes do ask about what is a verb phrase. So if we have must have gone, we've got a couple of helping verbs there helping the action verb gone. Must have gone, the entire part, is indeed a verb phrase. So if you hear us talking about verb phrases, it's simply a sentence that has more than one verb in it. Now you can have more than one subject. These are called compound subjects. You'll see some on practice 1 today. Jelly beans and lemon heads, those are both the subjects. And so we would say they are delicious. By the way, delicious is a predicate adjective because it's an adjective that refers back to jelly beans and lemon heads, and it is connected to those by a linking verb, which is are. Can you have more than one verb or verb phrase? Well, you can, yes, in our more sophisticated and longer sentences, you certainly will. So my mother drove us to Kennywood and bought us an all-day pass. Just as a little extra, to Kennywood is a prepositional phrase in the first sentence. In the second sentence, it's also a prepositional phrase. Sorry, while I play fetch with the cat. The bought is our second verb, and sometimes these are hard to find because you actually have to look for them. Oops, sorry, kitty. All day pass is, the past part is actually a direct object, and us is an indirect object. I did not know cats played fetch. Okay, so we're going to do something that people have done for a very, very long time. It's called diagramming. It's pretty simple, but as we go on to more on different parts of speech, you'll see that it'll get a little bit more complex. Now there's a certain way to do diagramming. This is the basic way that you're seeing here. So let's look at some examples. Robins eat worms in the yard. Now we would actually put in the yard underneath eat. We're not going to worry about that right now. So robins, the subject we put on the left, eat we put on the right, and boom, you're done. Now, cars and trucks is a compound subject, so you'll see that we put them both on there. In actual diagramming, that would look more like a rocket ship, but it's just kind of hard to get all the lines and everything on this. You'll see that down the road. Down the street, because it's an adverb phrase, we would put underneath the word raced. But again, we're not going to worry about that right now. If you cross out the prepositional phrases when you're looking for your subject and verb, you're going to be in a lot better shape, because your subject and your verb of your sentence are never going to be in the prepositional phrases. So remember that a prepositional phrase starts with a preposition, ends with a noun or pronoun, and you can see a couple there. You can see on TV, on reality. It's much, much easier to find everything when you cross out those prepositional phrases. You'll see that on practice 1 as well. And finally, here you have your notes for the PowerPoint. We have the wonderful PowerPoint, and then you're just going to complete practices 1 and 2 to prepare for the quiz. I have very detailed keys for practices 1 and 2 that we will go over together. So thanks for your patience. Sorry this one took a while, and let's have good luck in finding subjects and verbs.